Friends, there is a reason why I was trying to showcase this video. Okay, actually, outcome-based education, obviously, which I am trying to showcase. It was a documentary from National Geographic channel, where we have. I'm trying to show that the first university in the world, Nalanda University, which has started the concept of outcome-based education. So it is nothing new to Indians. We have already gone through, practiced over centuries this process called as outcome-based education. So nothing is that exactly we have learned, are learning from the people, so-called Westerners, where exactly this outcome-based education is, we are trying to learn it. Okay. And most importantly, what they have done is they have documented the process. Now, what you see on the screen is the Great Nalanda University, which has a set of books, 90 lakh books. Once they started burning, they burned for 3 months. The entire library burned for 3 months. By obviously QG, they have burned, and this, in fact, this is the library which was on 9 floors. 9 floors. In all the books, obviously 90 lakhs manuscripts. So when they started burning it, obviously the library itself has burned for 3 months continuously, without obviously. Now that is the greatness of our education system, Indian education system. So coming back to this, with huge respects from our ancient education system, and also the people pioneers who have started this outcome-based education, who has documented and shown, projected to the entire world. What are we trying to present? A total different perspective of outcome-based education. First, most of the people here, you would have heard about this OBE at many places, many times, and I am sure that everyone in different colleges you have practiced MBA. On default, you know OBE. Now, I am trying to put in a totally different perspective, friends, obviously, because I understood that there are students, there are industry people, and there are research scholars, faculty members. Okay. Now, this outcome-based education is not only for the faculty or not for the students, it is for everyone. You need to understand the perspective of that. So, in its true essence, what exactly is outcome-based education? And today's session, I am really happy that I am not focusing on any accreditation process. No MBA, no NAC, or NIR, all such things. Okay, we don't talk about it. We are not going behind rankings. We are not going behind numbers. Okay, so it is in its true essence what exactly outcome-based education means to us. So what I will try to do is I'll start from the history. Now, if you go to the recent text books, we call this as there was a person called as William Spady. He started outcome-based education, and he has formed some principles in 1994. So, world understood outcome-based education in the year from the year 1994. But obviously, this has a history of 60 years. Literally, after understanding so many principles, he has framed up his 4 basic principles. So, I will be starting from the starting point. So, in 1960s, where outcome-based education started. So, my entire perspective is clearly understand what is OBE. Not for exactly, okay, I am not insisting much on OBE framework, later we will try to talk about that. So, basically, the presentation has the 4 categories, okay. I will be trying to talk about who are the pioneers of this OBE. Okay, I will be trying to talk about new concepts, what is educentrism, mastery ML model, we call as mastery learning models. They used to call this as ML model in 1976. It was not mission learning, okay, but they named it as mastery learning models by Bloom, the person who has created Bloom's taxonomy, who has created 1968. Okay. Now later, William Spady came into the picture. He has developed OBE principles. Then I will try to look at OBE framework. Most of the faculty is aware of OBE framework because we have practiced this system during your accreditation process. So friends, let me start with this. These are the 3 people. The 3 people who started. Obviously, I have the years below, which I have shown that. I am trying to show their work in that particular years which were popularized. Now it was James Carroll. Okay, he is the person obviously who initiated the learning system, transforming the education system in 1960s. Okay, later obviously it was Bloom. Okay, Benjamin Bloom in 1968. He has developed a model called as ML model. Now we also call this as revised Bloom's taxonomy, so we call it as. Okay. Now it started in 1968 first. Now when whatever it has started in 1960s, we are practicing now. Okay. And later Williamson Parity mentioned. Okay. Where he started he explained the concept of OBE principles. Okay. Once again, Williams-Spradlin has derived OBE principles from this book. So this is what exactly happens. And before I do that, okay, I have some small activities. Do you have sheets for the certificate? Okay. And you are giving white sheets. I'm asking them to do some activity which will be in white sheet. Okay. By the time I start. Okay. So friends, what is outcome-based education? Okay. So obviously the statement clearly goes into this. Okay. It says a process where that focuses on what the students can do and what qualities they get. What qualities they get. Once again, obviously, at the end of the educational system. Okay, when they are going out of the education system, what qualities they are going to get. This is what is outcome-based education. Okay, what it really means to us. Now, it has a different meaning. Overall, the creators of outcome-based education has never defined this. They had some other definition for them, for us, which I will try to talk to you. Okay, I will try to tell what exactly is this outcome-based education is meant for the creators. That is most important. Okay. So, how creators thought about outcome-based education? Now, before that, I have given some sheets of paper and one sheet for you also. Okay. Friends, before I enter into the session, okay, I requested them to give the rough sheets, but Shivkumar was too good that he has given white sheets, which you are going to tear it now. Okay. Friends, I have a small activity which I want every one of you who are present here supposed to do. I am going to give some instructions clearly. I want you to follow the instructions, okay, and work on it. Okay, and I'm not going to repeat these instructions. Okay, clearly was very simple task which you are going to do. First, take out your sheet of paper, fold it into half, fold it into half, fold it into half, everyone, fold it into half, right? So, please tear it off upper right corner. Tear upper right corner of your sheet. Tear upper right corner. Okay. Once again, fold half. Fold half. Fold half. Once again, fold it. Now tear upper left corner. Tear upper left corner. Tear upper left corner. Once again, fold it half. Once again, fold it half. Fold it half. Tear upper right corner. Tear upper right corner. Done, boss? Okay. Now, my instructions were very clear. Is it simple? Did you hope my instructions were very clear? I said, fold it, tear upper right corner. Then my next instruction, once again you fold it and tear upper left corner. Once again fold it and I ask you to tear upper right corner. Okay. Now, okay, everyone open the papers. I am expecting your sheets to be like this. Open it, boss, and show it to me. Open it, boss. Everyone. Everyone open it. The instructor has taught a lesson to you now. Very simple. You have understood. Every one of us has understood this lesson. It was easy. Don't you think my instruction was easy? Simple. And what I am expecting is this. As a person who is standing here and instructing you people, I have the instructions were simple, you have understood, you have practiced, and the result is not the same. Result is not the same, boss. Can any one of you tell me why it has? Your sheet and my sheet are different. I have got this. We have practiced. Why this would have happened? What would have been the reason for this?
Specificity was not mentioned.
Understood differently.
My instructions were clear.
It was clear, but they were not oriented, like the specifications were not
The direction
like
of
along
the
the long side, along the short side, like that.
So what was missing for both of us? For both of us, I tell you. When I am trying to do it as a audience, you followed it. You never had a clarity. And whenever I said I know that obviously there is something in communication which I call it as clarity, which we call it as clarity of focus. The first principle of OB, friends, remember that. Until unless you don't understand and you don't know what is the outcome, you cannot do any task. If I would have told us, this is the shape which you are going to do before itself. This is the shape which you are going to do before itself. I would have clearly defined your outcome. Then 100% every one of you would have tried the same shape. I have not told that. And you never asked me. You never asked me. You started following it. So what is missing from obviously OBE? Obviously the OBE starts from here. The clarity is missing between both of us, the instructor and the audience. Okay. Now I feel that obviously when I am delivering it, 100% you are following. Because you have done it. You are doing instantly, you are doing the activities. And when you are doing it, you are feeling that obviously yes, you are doing perfectly. But what happens with the outcomes? The outcome is zero. The outcome is zero for most of the people. Friends, obviously remember this now. What exactly is missing is outcome-based education speaks about this. The clarity is missing. Now that follows start. Obviously the OBE starts having clarity. Now here when I go with outcome-based education, okay, all of the things start from here. Obviously, it has a different meaning. Obviously, we feel that okay, outcome-based education. Three important words. Among the three, do you know which one I feel most important is neither the outcome nor the education. The statement which is in between, which usually is neglected by most of us. Usually, which is neglected. Obviously, we know what is education. We are the pioneers here. No, we know what is outcome. But obviously, what is the statement doing here when I say outcome-based education? I said no, the pioneers, the creators has totally a different meaning for them. Now listen, outcome-based, the creators has this in their mind. Outcomes defined by education. Outcomes focused on education. Outcomes designed around education. Outcomes organized around education. This is the meaning of outcome-based education. So outcome-based means obviously try to understand these are the key terms which you need to understand. Outcomes defined by the education. Okay. Now outcomes once again focused on the education system. Designed around and organized around the education system is what exactly we need to have. But this is what exactly the true essence. With this essence, the creators has started their initial findings, initial work on OBE system. This is what the exact OBE system started. So I will try to explain, I will be trying to take you to the journey from 1963. What has changed, how the people have worked on this outcome-based education and what they have found, which led us the entire system with a revolutionary change which we are right now doing. Now friends, obviously yes, why this orientation? Now obviously there is no more question. If most of the learners here, we have professors, we have so many faculty members, students, postgraduates, research scholars. Now you know what is education and all the things, you have this meaning. Now why do you think AICTE would have asked us to have this session on OBE? So obviously I don't think so. This content is too difficult to understand. Obviously we can understand the concept. Now all the things, obviously it is not unfamiliar. Everything is there, it is on the books also. But there is something different. The perspective, the paradigm shift, the way how you think is different. Okay. The way what we are trying to think is different. So obviously the first task, the first work on outcome-based education is by a person, James Carroll, in 1963. Okay. He started his work in 1963 on a model of school learning, and he has published this in Columbia University. It is the first paper on something ever known as outcome-based education. He has introduced new terms. Okay, educentrism, and he is trying to talk about some terms for us: paradigm blindness, paradigm prism, and closed system. Okay, I will try to explain you. Okay. At any point of time, if you have any questions, obviously keep it with you. At the end of the session, we will try to discuss on that. Okay. First, obviously, see this concept called as educentrism. It is something like education based on past experiences. How we work on the past experiences, and outcome-based education is not the same of education based on past experiences. It is something different. If you want to implement outcome-based education, obviously, friends, you should be accepting OBE open mind and open heart. Until unless, obviously, it is not easy for you to understand or to implement OBE. That is most important, because obviously it is a totally concise description of education model which is slightly detaching from educentrism. As such, it is going to detach from the education based on past experiences. It is not the same anymore. Okay. What exactly is that? Now, right here, there is a concept called as paradigm blindness. It clearly says that we don't accept the things easily. We believe that obviously we are able to accept the challenges, obviously, in the core ways of doing things. When I say core ways of doing things, we had a habit. We have proved yesterday. We are going to prove today, and 100% is we are going to get the result. And tomorrow also we are going to do the same. Now, this concept is called as a paradigm blindness. It means obviously we always believe that if something has approved, obviously something has got some good results in the previous years by my seniors, I am going to implement the same. and obviously I am going to get the same results every time when I implement it. This concept of paradigm blindness was there in the education system for many years. What exactly is this? Now there is a saying, famous saying, we can't see the forest from the trees. Obviously, yes, you can have a bigger picture. You can't see this. Now the reason for this, obviously, is why we have a concept of paradigm blindness. Now here what happens is, now we take the things for granted most of the times. Now we give the things some meaning, some values, obviously we give these values. And also we feel that obviously if we are trying to do it, we try to convert our daily activities as routines. Now routine means obviously, now when the routine comes, there is no improvement. So we convert our daily things, obviously which has been proved, we try to convert into routines. And obviously we become so much socialized. I will try to explain in detail what does it mean by socialized. We become socialized because obviously this term means clearly when I have done the things, when I have given a session, my colleague says yes, it is good. Obviously yes, I am satisfied and tomorrow I am going to do the same session. Similar. If someone says yes, if you have got 100% result in your subject, or if you have, as a student, this is college, if you have proved already, and someone says that, okay, you have done to your expectation, tomorrow also I will do the same. I will not change. Be careful with this term for a socialist. Being socialist is very dangerous in some stages. Okay. Now because we are accepting the things that we have already done. Okay. Now coming back to same thing, this paradigm blindness has so many things. Now the history shows the reputed institutes, obviously, if it has already established over the centuries. Now the people in the institute, either it can be the students, it can be the faculty, employees, they believe that the principles whatever they have followed previously, obviously are the same ways which works. Now this concept is called as paradigm blindness. Because I am in this institute for last 10 years and the institute is already successful. Now I believe that this is the only way which I need to work on. Because it was there from generations, and from generations it is already successful. Now what else? What happens with all the people inside the particular organization? It can be industries also. Organizations of what they feel this, yes, this is the only way which we need to do this. Because the institution has proved that it has been successful. But what happens is the transformation will not happen. The evolve, obviously we don't evolve, or the institutions will never evolve if you have such a blindness, paradigm blindness. And here we call this as, this institution we also call it as paradigmism or closed system. Here this system we also call it as closed system, where we are not open to improvements. Okay. We already believe that it is working and it was successful. This is what exactly was the issue. Now, he clearly said, friends, obviously, this person clearly said, yes, education is time-based. And you absolutely true. Because education, try to understand about this, how our education system works. I will try to talk about traditional system and OB, what differences happen. And these are the studies from his paper in 1963. Now here friends, try to understand this education is organized around certain time blocks. Very clear. The time blocks are something like, obviously, now try to see that when the time runs out, the course is over. No matter how much knowledge is still left to teach or to learn. I have different time period. 3 months exam comes. I do not bother obviously how much is there for me to teach or students is immaterial for me how much they have to learn. But it is time bound. Now you can see this at every part, starting from your school years, then semesters, courses, credit hours, class periods, promotion schedules, each and everything first, it is time based. Nothing is focused on the learner. Nothing is focused on the learner. When the time is done, that one is done. Obviously, whether it is 8th class, 9th class, 10th class, PU1, PU2 or your engineering. It is time-based education system which we work. Now, what is the major problem with such time-based? So, obviously, it is a kind of assembly line factory which I have. Which obviously, basically a mechanical engineer, if I go to a production department, I see that obviously this has to be manufactured for a certain period of time. So, this operation will happen for so many minutes. Now, when I say that, after the time, obviously, we should say or not, my conveyor will start moving. It will take the product to the next mission. It will take the product to the next mission without seeing whether the operation has completely finished or not. This is what exactly was happening with our education system. It is clearly a assembly line factory, friends, obviously, where our product is the learners. Okay, where we give a certain strict timelines to them. We don't obviously, most of us, we don't think obviously how much the learning has happened. Okay, because I am trying to come to that. Okay, there are certain kind of students where particular people where learning also will happen. Okay, but how do we plan for that? Okay, so once again, friends, this inputs obviously now the fundamentals of education system. It clearly says that the input is called as learning, and the capacity to assimilate this quickly and recall it accurately is called as intelligence. This is the basic definition of learning and intelligence. Okay. Now, here very simple. Whatever the input we give, we were thinking of. I am trying to talk about in 1960s model. Once again, friends, maybe now it has changed drastically. Okay, the input is called as learning, and if you are able to assimilate it and retain it readily and accurately, obviously, if you can able to tell this, then we call it as intelligence, obviously. And also, society feels that you are more valuable, more intelligent in the way how fast you learn. In the way how fast you learn. The faster you learn, obviously, and if you are more intelligent, then you are deemed to be more valuable to the society. This was the system, education system, which was prevailing initially at initial stages, where the concept of educentrism came. So, obviously, this was a major issue. Basically, what he has done, he has gone through the education system over different universities, different schools, and they understood that what was happening in education. Education based on past experiences. Now he literally told, yes, it is time based. There is a problem with the system. Now, and also he said, the fundamentals of educentrism. This is a major problem which he has posed. It has fixed rules, fixed line of authorities. Now obviously even sometimes I do see now also here. Okay, now in the present system also it has fixed rules for which are defined as teachers and students, fixed lines of authorities, fixed age levels. At a certain ages you will be trying to do this education system. Now fixed areas of content, fixed places to learn, fixed time blocks and schedules, fixed ways of accessing the students. Now this is what exactly the education system what was there in 1960s, and some of the points were existing now also. It was obviously some of the points were very difficult to change because the mindset has to be changed. Okay. Now until unless obviously it is not, as I said, that is the reason which I said, with the open mind, with courage, and we go ahead, then we will be able to implement OBE sincerely. Else, implementing OBE, friends, obviously not so easy. But one thing is sure, implementing OBE doesn't mean that you are trying to change the system. It is you are trying to change yourselves. It is us who are changing because of OBE. Obviously, yes, because there are so many changes which you can feel, which you can observe while we start implementing the concept of OBE. Now, once he has done this, now the famous Bloom, Benjamin Bloom, where now also we work on Bloom's taxonomy. His initial work was on mastery learning model. Okay, the mastery learning model, the ML model, which he has published in 1968. Till then, William Spalding never came into picture. OBE, we know that it was father of OBE was William Spalding, who came to picture in 1994 and became the father. They were grandfathers. They were grandfathers, obviously. We have James Carroll as well as Benjamin. I will tell you the reason why he has been given the highest recognition. He is getting the highest recognition in the concept of outcome-based education. So, friends, obviously, yes, he has devised a model called as mastery learning model, where the famous one, everything started with this question first. I want you to go through this question. Read it. It was a question asked by a student to Mr. Benjamin. The question was very clear. Okay. It was a girl student, Vanessa, obviously. Her name was also called as Vanessa. It was clearly written in the book. Okay. Now, all my findings or whatever the presentations is from the famous book by William Spalding himself. And how he has learned and how he has developed his 4 famous schools. Okay. Now, there was a question to him. She was a kid in a school, obviously studying chemistry. She was asking him, why is chemistry 9 months long? Some kids can learn it in 7 months, some in 9 and some in 11 months. It would be the same chemistry with the same exams. But now she is clear now. She knows that she can do it in 11 months. But she is failing because it is only you have given the opportunity for her in 9 months. She can do it in 11 months because she was a slow learner. She was a slow learner. She can do it in 11 months. But you have time frame. Now, because of which she was a failure. She was a failure. And she was asking him, can I have an 11-month course? Now, this was a major question of thought. Can I have a course on one same course on 7 months, 9 months, 11 months? Practically, no. The system fails. Now, where should I start? Obviously, then this won't start from here. With this question, this is the question which instigated in this mind.